are back once again with WCS NA Challenger. I'm joined here by Taran, not Taran. I feel like Nate is a little bit confused. He keeps calling you Taran, and he's confused about your tattoo. Is this the feel I get?
Yeah, it is.
Your name is Taran.
Taran, or yeah.
Taran. Taran.
Yeah. Because I named myself after the Tauren from Warcraft initially, and then I misspelled it because I didn't want to tie it too close because I was embarrassed.
Can't represent the great state of Texas in this manner. Taran.
It's all right. It's all right.
So you thought Taurens were Tarans?
No.
Like the creature was a Taran?
No, I had never played StarCraft at all at that point. I had played Warcraft 3, and then the Tauren made an appearance in that, of course.
The Taran.
The Tauren. The Tauren, and then so I liked them, and then I liked the quarterback Colt McCoy. He was on the Texas Longhorns. Hook 'em.
All right.
And so yeah, so I combined them and then changed the spelling.
We'll see if we can hook you onto this game between the great Neeb and TLO.
Yeah, this is going to be a phenomenal match.
Fantastic. Last time I believe TLO won in the group stages of the last tournament these two faced in. TLO couldn't make it much further, but he had that great result that didn't really amount to much because there's like 5 groups, triple elimination brackets. So, yeah.
Yeah, super excited for it here as we start off on the bottom right-hand side of Thunderbird. It is TLO.
Thunderbird and Torrents.
Second most creative Zerg.
That's what the word on the street is. I really don't dictate this thing. So, and spawning on the top left-hand side of the map, it is Neeb playing for Ting, Alex Sunderhaft. And if I may tell you a thing or two that I know,
please.
The Sunderhaft family name was found in the USA between 1880 and 1920. Did you know this?
I didn't.
The most Sunderhaft families were found in the USA in the 1880. In 1880, there was 14 Sunderhaft, not 13 nor 15.
Only 14.
14 Sunderhaft families, all of which lived in New York.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's about 67% of all the recorded Sunderhafts in the USA, so it's a quite rare creature.
Indeed.
And New York had the highest population of Sunderhaft families in the 1980s. Today, we have only one Sunderhaft that matters.
And it is this guy.
Indeed.
Oh man, what a storied name to have.
Indeed. Many years.
What a legacy.
Will he live up to it? What do you know about the Wunches?
About the what?
The Wunches.
You know, I can't say I know a lot. I can't say I know a lot about it.
All right. I know they are very creative.
Indeed, very creative. Here on North America.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of what is it about North America that brings out the fiesta in people? You know, is it a mutual, like, I don't want to say lack of respect, but like...
It's almost like the universe reallocated TLO because he fits in North America better, right? He's
like the Sorting Hat made a mistake back in the day?
Yeah, back in the day. They were like, no, you're actually supposed to play in the North American region, Mr. TLO. So,
yeah, now he is well at home, living up in Canada these days. Happy man.
Yeah, he's been feeling this link speed quite a bit, pretty often.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to find much with it, though, on this map, as Neeb is closing off the entrance onto all 3 bases. We've talked about this in plenty. There is a single entrance to all 3 bases, and this makes the map very macro-heavy, very macro-oriented. Okay!
I like it.
Now we're talking. So now the speed makes a whole lot more sense.
Oh, and he's opening up the center of the map, too.
Yeah, he might be able to catch this at depth. Gotta be careful for the jukes from Neeb, and this is very creative.
Oh, this is so sick. I love him opening up the center of the map as well, really cutting down that rush distance, as it's just going to be Zerglings in the production tab. Not nearly enough probes getting pulled just yet to out-damage this hatchery going up, trying to re-secure the wall on the other side, but that probe will get taken out, desperately trying to get that last pylon up, and these probes have to get involved.
This is going to be very difficult. This is a build order that, or a similar build order to something that I used to on Merry-Go-Round. Exactly for the same properties that this map has, which is a very wide ramp. So TLO very well aware of the terrain that he's fighting in, and he might be able to do this. Very intelligent play here by TLO, as he is going to get rid of those adepts, and GG is cold.
What a move. Beautiful by TLO.
just brilliant.
Oh man, beautiful use of opening up the mineral patches there in the center of the map, cutting down on the rush distance.
Yeah, considerably so.
Goodness,
Yeah.
such a sick play.
Delicious. And anticipating Neeb might do something like this, but also this build isn't necessarily a committal. Should your opponent not do this, then you just don't do it.
Exactly. And you know, if he does pull, I think it's 8 probes to try to outdamage that hatchery, you know, worst case, you cancel it, maybe throw down Evolution Chamber underneath it if you're fast enough and want to.
Yeah, there's very little to be done. I mean, this map is arguably even better than Merry-Go-Round or Catalina because the ramp is so wide.
Yeah, and you force such a strong reaction to it. You can give yourself advantage even if it doesn't end up ending the game. And in this situation, such beautiful movement with his Zerglings as well, constantly blocking the building of those new pylons or gateways to try and re-secure that wall. Beautifully done by TLO.
Yeah, great. And the hatchery is not really something that you can get rid of so easily, right? Even if you pulled all those probes, it would take them a while.
And you lose out on so much mining time as well.
And this wasn't close to being done. If the hatchery finishes, it's a means of production right there and then. The creep will prevent additional buildings. So just fantastic heads-up play by TLO.
Yeah, really smart build choice there for map 1, you know, trying to catch him off guard and suddenly puts himself in a very powerful position here in the winner's match, you know, has that extra game to kind of play around with, you know, perhaps do something even crazier if he wants to and still have that third game to fall back on.
Crazier.
Yeah, that was already pretty crazy.
That was pretty nuts.
Yeah, doesn't really get much more crazy than that, but gives him that breathing room. I really like to see it. And yeah, now TLO poised to make it out in first if he can just do it one more time.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, it would be a meaningful win for once against Neeb because TLO gets unlucky with this kind of things. He does great in the group stages, beats everyone, and then you know, he's kind of cursed as the tournaments progress. But here he has an opportunity to show that the Wunches are not second to the Sunderhafts.
Fighting for house and home. Here on King's Cove, as we start off on the bottom right-hand side in the red, he is our Zerg player from Liquid. It's TLO.
And looking for revenge, but with a weakness for creativity. It is Neeb. Will he be able to pull it back? The favorite to take the entire tournament, I think you highlighted. It's very true.
Yeah, and especially after such a dominant Cheesadelphia, he did not drop a map in the bracket stage of Cheesadelphia, by the way. He was 2-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, and completely dominated that entire tournament. And now, on the brink of falling to the decider match here, and escaping this group potentially in second.
Yeah, and Epic is no pushover. I mean, Neeb has lost to the likes of Future before. I don't think there's a, you know, how crazy of a world we would live in should Neeb be eliminated.
Right? If you like, there is that chance. It, you know, Epic.
It is a possibility. Yes.
Yeah.
It is like there's a non-zero chance that this.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
How high above non-zero would you say it is, Cats? Put you on the spot a little bit here.
Yeah, a little bit. I want to say there is a... okay, I'm gonna go off of my odds. I used to be a betting man. Last time I played Neeb, he had I believe I had 16-1 odds, and then I had I think I would have gotten paid something like 8-1 if I won one map.
Oh wow!
So I want to say TLO's chances and Epic's chances are a little bit higher than that. And if we do some quick maths just in my head, without actually saying the numbers so that I'm right no matter what.
Of course.
I will go for a solid 6.3% chance.
Wow.
That Neeb is eliminated.
That Neeb is eliminated? 6.3%.
Indeed.
Very reasonable. Math checks out.
So there's going to be a Stargate here in production.
Yeah, and TLO, with a good scout already, should know that the tech is down by how late that warp gate research is going to get started up here.
Yeah,
and especially seeing the Adept coming out first, you know, only other reason it would be, and not seeing a Stalker getting Chrono Boost coming out will also tell him that it's that it is the Stargate if the Stargate doesn't reveal itself before then.
Yeah, TLO has been loving this fast speed, and yeah, it made me bite my tongue last time around. I said it would be difficult to find damage. Now this map, it'll be really difficult to find damage as the ramp is not so friendly, right?
Right.
The starport will be scouted. A Phoenix will be made to clear the one Overlord, but TLO has being very careful not to send the second Overlord across the map, which is rather standard because this is a thing.
Yeah, not wanting to, no reason to lose any extra Overlords when realistically you can accomplish similar information with just like a Zergling planted in a few positions, you know, have them in a nice line across the map without the same risks involved.
Oh, look at this. Love it. Wow. So TLO just shaving 4 of his Zerglings so that the other 4 can apply pressure onto a wall of Neeb running the opposite way, not because he thought the Adept was gonna get away, but rather to buy some time for this to happen. But TLO, too smart, sends 4-6 links and starts working on this wall off, and this is looking already very dangerous for the Thunderhat.
Yeah, gonna take quite a bit of damage on this gateway. Might even lose another gateway here. Nice job with the shade. Not gonna lose too much more, but an expensive start, and also not to mention delaying this warp gate research.
Very good, you know, just looking forward to what was about to happen here. And the Oracle, I mean, he is just a killer of Zerglings. It's the thing that he does best is the Oracle. Or she, I don't know what Oracles.
Yeah, what they
Oracle's gender, yeah, it's disputable.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Moving over to the Zerg side of the map, with that Phoenix available to tank for the Oracle, will allow it to, in theory, get guaranteed damage, you know, if it's able to get in position. Of course, right now, a bit low on the energy side of things.
Yeah, it's guaranteed to get damage so long as it gets damage. I feel you. I think we're on the same page here.
Yes, exactly what I meant to say, as the Phoenix will get a scout off here, sees the layer. Very nice information here.
Very nice indeed. And
did he see the Evo Chamber go down as well? Or did
no, he did not.
I missed that as he went out and lost the Phoenix as well. And going through the second Stargate finishing up here, so that's going to mean just constant Phoenix production.
Yeah. TLO only 2 workers ahead. I mean, Neeb did make a lot of pylons, but those are haven't been completely useless as he continues to produce units and whatnot. But his expansion has definitely been a little bit delayed. So.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, it will make his SimCity, you know, a bit more awkward. You know, when he tries to add on more gateways later, might have a little bit of trouble, but not a huge deal here. As the Phoenix is going to be continuing to pump it out, Baneling Nest and that +1 melee coming up for TLO, so going to have a very powerful force on the ground.
Yeah, the Oracle doesn't find the drone that he was looking for, takes a lot of damage. Very good heads-up play by TLO once again. He's playing a fantastic series of StarCraft here. Yeah,
very well done. Keeping them alive as the Phoenix is now going to start to show themselves.
All right.
Not a lot here, only 6.
Yeah, and we've kind of talked about this. You don't want to move out too late. You don't want to move out too early. It's a balancing act, right? Like you want to surprise your opponent, yes, but you also want to do damage as early as possible. So you can't quite wait for a critical mass of Phoenix, whatever that is.
Right, great spot there. Does see that Spire coming, and now picking off a few units on the rally here, just doing what he can with these Phoenixes, right? Not going to be able to really dive into the mineral lines just yet. Doesn't quite have the overwhelming force he would want as the Oracle comes in, takes down a few, and stays alive.
Not bad. That's the best that Oracle has done so far. And I mean, the Phoenix really didn't accomplish very much, right? So they really have to get something going because this energy is, you know, the game is balanced around the attributes of the units. So if the units aren't effectively using their attributes, such as the energy here, that is gigantic, then that's a problem. 3 queens going down, and we saw TLO earlier actually account for something like this, similar in a different matchup in CVT, by having a spore in between the 2 separated natural and third. This time forgoing it, and it's biting him in the butt.
Yeah, taking a ton of damage here, losing another queen as well. 7 corruptors on the way to try and help deal with this. Spire researching
the Phoenix can just park there, right? That's the thing about this. That's the problem with not having the spore between those 2 bases, is that the Phoenixes can kind of just wait there and pick off whatever reinforcements or drone transfers are going on. A nice roach counter attack, very well executed. I don't like magical numbers in StarCraft, especially when they are a little bit bigger. It's like, hey, Cuts, how many you know, whatever should I make against this unit? I don't know. How many of that unit do they have, and what do you have, and how do you transition? There are so many questions to be answered.
Yeah.
But when it comes to things like killing drones or probes, there are such magical numbers, and I really like that TLO was using just the 3 roaches there.
Yeah, just enough to target fire them down. great use of them, you know, when they aren't really going to have too much of a role as we continue, you know, dealing with these Phoenixes, trading them out as effectively as possible for those worker kills. The Corruptors finds one.
Yeah, gotta say, had those Phoenixes not found those Queens, I feel like Neeb would be in a lot of trouble. The Corruptors are a great choice by TLO here because they will destroy Phoenixes. They're not that slow either, so they can kind of keep up as long as you have them in a neutral position where they can kind of fan to one side or the other to kill these Phoenixes. However, they are tagged, and so the Phoenixes know that they are free to go into the natural base, and very good exploiting of this fact by Neeb. So making very good use of the revelation here.
Yeah, great use of all the information he's getting for himself, and now the Pulse Crystals are done.
That is nifty. Now the Corruptors are outranged. Very good focus firing by TLO. He's going to need something other than Corruptors. I feel like the Phoenixes are at such a critical point that if Neeb was able to keep clumping them before attacking, it will be very, very difficult to deal with them, and they can trade efficiently even against Corruptors.
Yeah, so and still Viper's a bit away from the side of TLO.
Yeah, but the Infestation Pit is done, and there is the Pathogen Glands.
That would be very nice to help deal with this.
Indeed. So one big fungal could change things, but it's not happening anytime soon, and so the Phoenixes have a little bit of a free reign for now. Those Corruptors are trying their best, but there's a lot... Oh, no, he shot his Corruptor for a second, and that's very important because it not only hurts your Corruptor, but also your damage output onto the Phoenixes. Only one single Spore in the place where it wasn't before, and that's going to help a little bit, but even against that, Thunderhaft is going to reposition and kill the entire army.
This is massive.
TLO. This is
this is a ton of damage dealt here. 19 Phoenixes still alive here with that +2 air weapons finishing up very soon as well. Slow Zealots doing what they can to deal with the roaches on the other side of things.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a good effort by TLO. You know, he identifies, okay, that's too many air units, therefore you must not have much on the ground, and this is true. But it comes nowhere close to dealing the damage that Neeb has accomplished here. So all of these drones are going to die in a second as well, should the Thunderhaft decide to do it. He decides not to. He spares them.
A merciful god here, as he...
And a little bit of an attack move here, I think.
Yeah, yeah, a couple more Phoenixes than he needed to there.
Yeah, I mean, moving into those Corruptors with 2 Spores shooting, that's not the most efficient when you could have just gotten all the drones in the main for free, right? These drones are more expensive because you're actually taking damage. So a little bit of a
fungal.
big fungal, but it is a little bit too late. I mean, look at the amount of Phoenixes. It's not that big anymore, and many of them are across the map dealing with these roaches. So as big as that fungal was...
those roaches did a lot, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
16 probes getting killed on the back side of things, and these Phoenixes, are still applying a ton of pressure, still getting a lot of worker kills dealt.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's getting more expensive for them to do that, and as well as the fact, as more static defense and more infestors start to come up, it's going to get harder and harder for these Phoenixes to apply enough pressure to end this game, right?
Yeah.
And still also needs something underneath it to actually kill the buildings if it comes to that.
Indeed, 4 Phoenixes still being produced at a time. Good upgrades as well. On the side of TLO, he is getting pretty good upgrades himself, as he just finished the +2 Carapace for the Corruptors. The problem is, there's no Corruptors out.
Yeah, and not really going to have much luck. That was funny, the Mortal getting taken down by Spore Crawlers for a second there. As, yeah, no, this is really interesting right now.
Indeed, it's going to be very difficult. And again, like the upgrade-wise, it is very consistent with what's going on in the game, right? Like, what upgrade do you get for Corruptors? Well, it depends. Phoenixes have 2 shots, right? And they're not particularly strong. Corruptors are naturally armored, and that's part of why the Phoenixes struggle against Corruptors. So right now, his Corruptors should have 4 armor, which negates 4 armor or 8 damage because the Phoenixes shoot twice. But there's no Corruptors, and thus the Phoenixes are at no risk.
Yeah, doing a ton of work here. The fungals are decent and a really great one at the end there, but with no follow-up, with no Corruptors, not enough energy on the infested to start getting out infested Terrans underneath them or anything like that. It is a really rough spot for TLO, losing so many infestors just then. Only has 3 left on the map. And with carriers coming out here very soon, I feel like this game's on the timer for TLO.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, TLO is dead.
Yeah.
So you had to go there to call Terran.
What?
No, but yeah, this game is mostly over at this point.
Yeah, like if...
It's so difficult though. Like
well,
when
what if he lands like chain fungals into a bunch of infested Terrans? Is that a chance?
That's the dream. That's the... not sure. I'm not sure that that would be enough of an equalizer. These Phoenixes are very expensive indeed. But look, they all have no energy. You know what that means? Like, there was no EMP here. Like that means they've been just about as efficient as they could have been over the last few minutes, and they've been lifting whatever they can lift and killing whatever they can kill. And yes, with fungals, and because Phoenixes tend to clump up because there's no unit collision essentially for them, it's very little. Then there's a slight chance that TLO feels like he has a way back into this game. Also, Phoenixes can't really shoot down, and thus they can't kill buildings or end the game. So it's very difficult to say, I'm dead. But I think he knows. And here come the carriers, and this is going to be a very, very difficult attack to hold. Also, he is researching Neural Parasite, which is the right idea, as you would have it, but it won't be ready in time. Has to drop some infested Terrans, but there is no burrow yet ready, so the infestors will fall, and the game will end in favor of the Sunderhaft.
Yeah, well done by him. Good defense and good, just great job being right on top of TLO. That's that entire game with the Phoenixes, right? As soon as he was ready with the first 6, constantly being active on the map, finding those opportunities to pick off the drones, pardon me. And of course, finding those 4 queens at the same time there really, I think, sealed the deal to allow those to be so effective. I think if those 4 queens are able to clump up with the Spore Crawler, maybe, you know, at the very least, not dying then he's maybe able to stabilize a little sooner in terms of stopping the bleeding from those Phoenixes. But really well done by Neeb.
Yeah, I mean, I knew the game was over when your tattoo started glowing, and then from that point on, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, once it starts pulsing with the energy, it's all over. You know, we try our best to not spoil it once that happens. You know, keep it covered, stuff like that.
Turn your arm around like this. Because if you, yeah, just instant spoilers. It's the worst when I'm watching a tournament game at home, because then like it just starts going. I'm like, there it is again, man. Love it. All right, good luck, have fun are saying the players sarcastically. Very like in reality, they're not saying good luck. You know, they're saying
in reality, it's like I hope you lose. Yeah. Like
you know,
I don't know. These guys are both pretty nice. I met them both. They're both pretty nice guys.
Both pretty nice guys. Yeah.
Just not when it comes to the nitty gritty.
I mean, I think that that if one of them was to misclick onto, you know, a mineral patch in the natural or something weird like that, or like you know when you grab your boxing around your units and you click on a single mineral patch and it just feels bad because you just lost like $20 and
yeah, or like opening the game and recalling half your probes.
They're both hoping for that for each other, right? Like that's yeah.
All right, well, let's start off down here on the bottom left hand side from Team Liquid, looking to close this out 2-1 if he can. It's TLO. Mr. Dario.
Indeed. And on the top right-hand side of the map, playing for Ting, it is Neeb.
Good stuff.
Good stuff
music.
Indeed.
And once again, taking the natural of the third base location. Is this just for creep spread? Is that the main reason you do that?
No. You never want to do that. It's the probe denied it, right? The probe must have blocked the natural. That's the only assumption that one must make. If TLO knows something where you want to take that third,
I think you just like I saw it just move more smoothly from there because the probe was already there.
Yeah, so I mean TLO just
didn't
accepts
bother.
that the probe you just accept that the probe will block you and go somewhere else. So that's what we have. Very fast speed, and this is a necessary speed when you have this big of a distance, because otherwise things like at depths, like oracles can be, well, especially at depths, right? Early on.
Can be so abusive.
Indeed. Slow links cannot chase them. No. Queens certainly cannot chase them, and especially without creep connecting. So.
Yeah, and that'll be very one of the things to watch for here in the early game, as TLO is going to be fighting to get these bases connected quick as he can. Third hatchery going to be in the works for him relatively soon once he deals with this probe, really. Actually going to be able to slip by.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the money for it, and Neeb knows it for the time being.
Starting up his queens, getting his speed.
Yeah, still a relatively big transfer. I mean, he may not have any more use for his gas for the time being, but it is annoying, right? These guys are not mining as much as they could because they have to transfer all the way to the third. So, so a slight advantage for Neeb just off of the right off the bat. I think that TLO was going for a 17 hatch. The 16 and 15 hatch are a little bit easier to get that hatchery with. So we'll see, we'll see. And Neeb, of course, moves right away with the Adept, as he should. 8 links in production for TLO, which is more than you would want should the hatchery be at your natural, because then you have the Queen available to push the Adept back or force the Adept to shade in. Right now, he kind of has to spread his Zerglings. He has 6 at the natural base, I suppose, and another 2 with the Queen at the main. So
yeah, exactly. As you said, having to keep those units a little bit more spread, having to invest a little bit more larva into that as well, resulting in a little bit bigger of a worker lead for Neeb in the short term.
12 Zerglings.
Ooh, and this is really interesting as well. A resonating glaives coming up on the backside.
Yeah, 10 seconds for the Zerglings. TLO already starting moving to try to chase that Adept and catch him. Should he not get it, though, he's already 6 workers behind just on the back of A, the hatchery being further away, and B, producing 12 Zerglings. Yeah,
and now coming up at the front, you know, isn't going to really be getting too much information. We'll see a 3rd Adept coming out, which is a little bit unusual, right?
Yeah.
Is that enough to give him the read that this is Resonating Glaives coming up on the backside of this?
It's a hint for sure. I mean, you're not seeing Zealots. Like, if you see Zealots warped in, that's more of a you're definitely going charge type thing, because why would you ever make Zealots? But Adepts are a little bit more versatile. You can do things like, you know, poke with a few Adepts and not have Resonating Glaives. So 3 Adepts is perfectly reasonable. Now, this is a little bit more on the side of the sketchy side of things. And there are more links in production, no roaches. This is turning a little bit scary for TLO.
Yeah, very scary indeed. Those Banelings going to be so crucial as that Baneling nest is getting closer, finishing up. These Zerglings going to have free reign until that next wave of Warpins available. There we go.
And the Warpins are sentries and at home, so that is good news for the Wunderwunsch. However, these Adepts are kind of uncontested, and yes, there's Banelings, but they actually don't trade that well against Adepts unless they're clumped up. Neeb is going to have to be sort of careful. But for the most part, if he continues to shade preemptively and spread his Adepts preemptively, this should be good news for him.
Decent surround by the Zerglings on those.
Very good surround on the Zerglings, actually. Get the entire surface area of the Adepts. And this is a big mistake by Neeb. There's a lot of minerals there. There's a lot of space that doesn't need to be, where the Adepts don't need to be spread out, right? Like the Lings need surface area in order to do damage. So that damage could have been mitigated, cut in half, and maybe escapes with a lot of his Adepts. That said, that was a huge investment for TLO as well. So it's not like he's taking a huge advantage of this. It's still Neeb in the lead as far as workers.
Right. You know, that really just kind of relieves the pressure for a minute from him, gives TLO a second to finish getting his tech in order, you know, gives him time to get this layer up.
Yeah.
As this is a very nice Overlord Scout.
Indeed. And I gotta say, by the way, that's kind of like the only thing that you can do. It's not like TLO overproduced, but without the information that there isn't an Adept all-in follow-up or something like that, you kind of have to crush the first wave, or if there is a follow-up, you're just straight up dead. Because
this is massive Soul Train coming out of Neeb right now, by the way. As our observers showed, extra gateways getting added on that weren't spotted by TLO.
Yeah, but I love this. TLO is getting Overlord speed, and he already has a lair. So you know what he's gonna do? He's going to do the best thing that you can do that no one else does, but I trust him to do it. He's going to load some Banelings onto Overlords and go after the sentries because he has Baneling tech and he has the lair finishing. So that is just an option that, you know, that's available to him. So
yeah, that's going to be so nice. And
it's going to be very important. Might be able to bait out some force fields and then, you know, try to go into that force fielded donut.
And hypothetically, if Neeb tries to warp in Stalkers to try and deny that, those aren't going to trade well at all against the rest of these Zerglings.
Yeah, there it is. And these Banelings are defensive. These Banelings are looking for those sentries.
Did that Hallucinating Phoenix see the Dropper Lord? Did the Hallucinating Phoenix see that?
I'm not sure, but it's still very difficult to spread. Again, we just talked about surface area, right? So this, at the very least, will force a spread. Now, if he doesn't get those Baneling connections, if Neeb spreads preemptively, if he doesn't clean up this army basically all at once, it's going to look
they're the Drop Lords. Okay, Stalker's in a decent position to start pressuring this. First force field starting to get used. Drop Lord's getting closer.
Neeb knows.
Sentries on the run.
Sure. Yeah, Sentries on the run and
as well.
Yeah, that's a problem. You kind of want to trap him a little bit harder, right? Like force him. Oh, and this is so difficult now for Neeb.
Oh, so good. Such a great spot for Neeb now. As soon as these force fields are down, this base is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I would have loved for him to wait a little bit until he's in the choke so that there's no room for Neeb to fan out. Or even here so that he has to retreat onto the choke and then the Banelings will be much more potent. But engaging out in the open with the unit composition that he had. As he gets some good melee shots onto those sentries. That's going to help out a lot. Will it be enough? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, only 16 army supply left alive afterwards. Another Dropper Lord coming in, getting, again, decent connections, but it is too little, too late, as Neeb will take the game and the series and get out in first place. Congratulations.
Yeah, still love the efforts of TLO. He did a very good job. I think it's very difficult to switch onto roaches when you already have that tech in place, and this is why Neeb is doing something like this. So I think he made the best out of a very difficult situation.
Absolutely.
Again, I think if he had waited for the units to push further into his third base and then gone in maybe with a surround of Lings behind or something like that.
If he was able to get another contingent of Lings on the backside. Yeah, I absolutely
but you have
agree.
You have to crash that army. Or
it has to get completely routed. Otherwise, as we saw, just a little bit too much, the same power of those force fields allowing him to pick and choose and constrict that game out of TLO's hands. And so now that'll take us to our final match of the day. Take a look at the results from the rest of today. Been a fun one. Neeb escaping first as Epic going to be looking to keep his tournament hopes alive against TLO to decide our second one to advance. Don't go, guys. We'll be back with another PvZ after the break.